Compliance evaluation is essential for ensuring that an organization adheres to all applicable laws, regulations, industry standards, and internal policies. It involves reviewing practices, policies, and operations to confirm they align with the required compliance standards. In today's session, we will walk through the process of conducting a compliance evaluation, covering key steps from planning and data collection to analysis and reporting. The first step in conducting a compliance evaluation is defining the scope. This involves identifying the specific areas to evaluate, which may include legal compliance. Are the organization's practices in line with national, state, or industry-specific laws? Regulatory compliance. Are there specific rules or regulations set by authorities that need to be followed, e.g., environmental or financial regulations? Organizational policies. How well is the organization adhering to its internal policies, such as safety protocols or data protection guidelines? Clearly defining the scope helps focus the evaluation, ensuring that it addresses the most critical compliance issues relevant to the organization or department. An evaluation plan serves as a roadmap for the compliance assessment. It outlines objectives. What are the key compliance areas to be evaluated, and what are the expected outcomes? Methods. What tools and techniques will be used to gather and analyze data, e.g., interviews, audits, document reviews? Timeline. Set a clear time frame for each step of the evaluation process, including data collection, analysis, and reporting. Resources. Identify the team members responsible for the evaluation and any other resources required, such as access to records or external consultants. Having a clear plan ensures that the evaluation proceeds smoothly and that all necessary areas are covered. Once the plan is in place, the next step is identifying the data sources that will be used to assess compliance. These may include internal documents, review organizational policies, procedures, training records, and reports. Regulatory documents, examine industry-specific regulations, codes of practice, and relevant legislation. Performance metrics, look at key performance indicators, KPIs, that measure compliance, such as safety incidents, audit findings, or quality control data. In addition to reviewing documents, interviews and observations can provide first-hand insight into compliance practices. Key personnel to interview may include compliance officers, responsible for overseeing regulatory and legal adherence. Managers and supervisors, their perspectives on day-to-day compliance efforts are crucial. Employees, gathering feedback from staff can reveal potential gaps between written policies and actual practices. Observing work practices in action, such as safety protocols or operational procedures, can also uncover non-compliance issues that may not be evident in documents. With data collected, the next step is analyzing it to determine whether the organization is meeting compliance standards. This involves benchmarking. Compare actual practices with statutory, regulatory, and organizational requirements. For instance, do workplace safety practices align with both the Work Health and Safety Act and internal policies? Gap analysis. Identify any discrepancies or gaps between the expected compliance levels and actual practices. For example, if employee training records show gaps in safety training, this signals a compliance issue. Once the gaps are identified, categorize the level of compliance. Full compliance. All requirements are met and no corrective actions are needed. Partial compliance. Some, but not all, requirements are met, requiring improvements in certain areas. Non-compliance. Critical areas where the organization is failing to meet required standards, needing immediate action. Prioritize areas of non-compliance, particularly those that carry legal or regulatory consequences. The results of the compliance evaluation should be documented in a detailed report. Key components of the report include findings, summarize areas of full, partial, and non-compliance, supporting evidence, provide data such as document reviews, audit findings, or interview responses that supports your conclusions. Recommendations, offer clear, actionable recommendations for addressing any compliance gaps. These might include revising policies, conducting additional training, or updating procedures. The report should be clear, concise, and focused on helping management make informed decisions. After the report is shared with stakeholders, the next step is to implement corrective actions based on the evaluation's findings. This process should include action plans. Assign responsibilities for addressing the compliance gaps identified in the report with clear deadlines and accountability. Monitoring. Establish mechanisms for tracking the implementation of corrective actions, such as follow-up audits or regular compliance reviews. Continuous improvement. Compliance evaluation is an ongoing process. Regular evaluations, follow-up audits, and improvements based on lessons learned are essential to ensuring long-term compliance. In conclusion, conducting a compliance evaluation is a structured and systematic approach to ensuring that an organization is adhering to its legal, regulatory, and internal obligations. By defining the scope, collecting and analyzing data, and recommending corrective actions, you help ensure that your organization operates within the bounds of the law and maintains high ethical standards. Regular compliance evaluations are key to managing risk, promoting transparency, and fostering a culture of accountability. By following the steps outlined today, you can conduct thorough and effective evaluations that contribute to long-term success and regulatory adherence. Thank you for watching this video.